show you guys how to use Audition. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that your computer speakers are set up about half volume so that we have a room and flexibility later as viewers and listeners to play with the materials. Once you've downloaded the assets and opened the folder, you will see that there are three things in here. There's an OMF file that I exported from my original Premiere project. There is a low resolution video of the project that I created. It's 720 by 405, about half resolution H.264 file. And then I created a small library of sound effects for you guys to play with. So let's open up Audition. And the first thing we will do is we will import our OMF file. And you will see that when it's unpacked it's kind of inside that folder, it's created this huge mess. And remember, I'm half German and huge messes aren't how we do things here. So we are going to put all that stuff into a new folder and we're going to call it Audition Files. And then we're going to save our project in that very same folder. And we'll call it Final Mix. Okay. Next thing that we're going to do is from that file folder, we are going to take our video file. We are going to drag it up into our tracks, and you'll see that it's popped up on top. And there is the picture that we will have to reference during our video, during this tutorial. All right. So Audition is made up of two worlds. It's got our multi-track world, and in here we've got the editor and we've got our mixer, and then we can kind of also go into individual waves. So what we have here is basically all the dialogue right here, and on one of these tracks is the mic on the shotgun and the mic using the lavalier. And it's the same here, so I was able to get all of that dialogue basically done on those tracks. I'm going to, this is the open and closed music to the video, so I'm going to drag those guys up here, and I'm going to make them small so they don't get in our way. Now when we are in our tracks, we have the ability to mute a track.
Oklahoma State Bureau of Shameful Behavior.
So we just hear the bottom of that track, or we can reverse it.
Oklahoma State Bureau of Shameful Behavior.
We can solo a track.
How can I help you?
And we can record a track, but we'll be getting into that later. When we basically, this little window here allows us to see the entire project, or to zoom in and scroll around and look at it. We can make our images a bit bigger if we want, or smaller depending on our evil purposes. We can rename files, like we could call this one Shotgun and this one Lav. We have the ability to change the volume. Oops, undo. We have the ability to change the volume. And we can also create fade ins and fade outs. And by pulling left and right, it creates where that goes. And then if we pull it up and down, it sort of changes the shape if we don't want it to be a straight fade up. Okay, so I'll go undo for right now. So let's go and open up some sound effects. And basically this is supposed to be a busy office space. And so let's start with two things. Let's start by grabbing in our ambience and dropping that into our project. And we also have the room tone that we shot on that day. All right. So we'll name that room tone. We'll move that up here.
Oklahoma State Bureau of Shameful Behavior, how can I help you?
Okay, so we slated the room tone right there, and we've got a bit of mess here, so this is really what we want to begin with. And where we probably want that room tone to start coming in before we get to our picture, because ambience generally overlaps. And so what I'm going to do with that selected, I'm going to copy and paste it, and I'm just going to drag it this way, and it will neatly copy and paste in there. Copy, paste. There's now 4 of them. Copy and paste 8 of them. And I'm going to shorten it. And I'm hitting the plus sign right now. And what that's doing is focusing us in right where the reader head is. And that will allow me to do our fade out of our ambience. We could do the same thing with our other ambience. Let's hear what we got.
Oklahoma State Bureau of Shameful Behavior, how can I help you? Someone already reported that the husband of Lahoma's mayor dressed up as a Klansman for Halloween.
All right. So we will copy this one. Copy. Command paste, and by pasting it there, it'll automatically put in our fade in. And I'll hover here till we get our trim bar, and we will zoom in by hitting the plus. So now we've got our ambience kind of roughed in with our audio. Now let's play with some sound effects. This is supposed to be a busy office space. So let's grab some phones, different kinds of ringing phones, and bring them in here. Okay. Let's hear what we got here. Let's solo this phone. Let's solo this phone. let's solo this phone. Okay. So first, let's just get an overall volume. Turn our solo off. Let's get an overall feeling of the volume for these guys.
Oklahoma.
Okay, that's pretty loud. So let's bring that down.
How can I help you?
Well, now one thing we can do if we're trying stuff out is if I put my play it here and I hit I, that will set an in point. And if I hit O, we will get an out point. And with the loop chosen,
How can I help you? 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 How?
and that way we can play it back and get a better sense of our volume.
How can I help you? How can I help you? How can I help you? How can I help you?
Now what I did was I grabbed the pan head, and we are going to pan it eventually, but I want to set our volume first. So
how can I help you? How can I help you? How can I help you? How can I help you?
So that's nice and low, and so then I'm going to take that, and we will. Now I want to pan it, and I'm going to pan it to the left mostly. And then I'm going to use this other ring, and we will set its volume very low, and we will pan it mostly to the right. And let's see how these guys sound together.
How can I help you? Shameful behavior, how can I help you?
Make it even.
Shameful behavior, how can I help you?
Alright, so that sounds good. And now we've got one more third phone that we're going to toss in here. We'll make a preemptive strike and bring it down pretty low. And I'm going to set it kind of to the right.
Shameful behavior, how can I help you? Shameful behavior, how can I help you?
Make it even lower.
Shameful behavior, how can I help you?
Now, we will, so then we'll clear our loop. So if we want to make our beeps tighter, we'll use our razor tool. And so I hit R for razor, and I'm going to hit V, and I'm going to kind of drag it in. I'm going to hit R for razor, and V to drag it in, and we'll tighten this up significantly for this particular phone to make it sound much different in our hectic world. And by setting our volume and pan first, it means that we won't have to go back and set them all individually now. Okay. So these guys are now set approximately where I want them to be. I'm going to copy with Command C. Paste them on our world. Hit undo. Undo. Command C, copy. Paste. Let's see how this all sounds.
Oklahoma State Bureau of Shameful Behavior, how can I help you? Someone already reported that the husband of Lahoma's mayor dressed up as a Klansman for Halloween. But he did it as a joke. No, it's not very funny. Thanks for calling it in.
All right. So that's some of the basic editing tools that we will use in Audition. Now let's talk about some effects. So I'm going to name this Phone 1 to make our world clear. Phone 2, Phone 3.
Okay, help you. Someone already reported that the husband of Lahoma.
Okay, I'm going to bring down the volume a little bit more of Phone 1. There's a little lagging one.
Reported that the husband of Lahoma's mayor dressed.
Actually, I'm going to bring it back up just a hair. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to apply a video effect to this track. Okay, so we will go to Phone 1 here, and we will click in the track area, and I want to put some reverb on it to make it feel like it's far away.
He reported that the husband of Lahoma's mayor dressed up as a Klansman for Halloween. But he did it as a joke.
And basically, we want dry is no effect, and wet is adding the effect to it. And generally, we leave the dry level at 100.
No.
Let's solo this and loop it so we can hear what it's doing. That puts a little room on it. Let's increase the decay time. All right. So we hear that pretty well. Let's see how it sounds in our world with some of our other phones.
But he did it as a joke. No, it's not very. But he did it as a joke. No, it's not very. But he did it as a joke. No, it's not very.
And that helps it feel a little farther away. In fact, I'm going to increase it a little bit even more.
But he did it as a joke.
All right. So then for this phone effect, let's play with another tool. Let's play with delay and echo. Let's play with echo. See what some of our presets say. Let's see what delicate whispers sounds pretty sexy, doesn't it? Let's see what it has to say. So we will hit in and out. And we will solo that. I'm going to give it a little longer push so that we can hear the decay on it. Okay, let's play with spooky. I like spooky. So let's listen to them together. Clear this out.
up as a Klansman for Halloween. But he did it as a joke. No, it's not very funny. Thanks for calling it in. Someone already reported that the husband of Lahoma's mayor dressed up as a Klansman for Halloween.
Okay.
Mayor dressed up as a Klansman.
Okay. And so I'm going to now, I want to make that feel farther away using a different kind of tool. And so we will go to Filter and EQ, and we'll choose the FFT filter. And we want to take some of the bass out of our sound. And so what I'm going to do is that all the bassy frequencies are here and all the trebly sounds are there. So I am just going to create a high pass filter that only lets the high frequencies come through. Now let's hear it all together. Clear that out. Okay, now let's hear everybody in our world.
Already reported that the husband of Lahoma's mayor dressed up as a Klansman for Halloween. But he did it as a joke. No, it's not very funny.
Okay. So what we can also do is I'm going to double click into that file, and we can also do a filter just to a sample, but I don't want you guys to really do it because it's everything that we've done up till now we can change anytime we want, and this will only work if we render it. So let's kind of just listen into what this sample does. Room ambience. Let's get it wetter. Nope, I don't like room ambience. Let's do spatial echo. Alright, so this one is actually gives us more samples to play with. But, okay, so I kind of like that. That's kind of a neat trick. But only way to make it work is to apply it. And then when we go back to our multi-track, it's all married in there and we can't make it go away. So if you want to try out some of these effects and you don't know what they do, we can open up like the multiband compressor and we can click on that eye, and then its description will show up on the web. Multiband compression is good for making things louder. In fact, this is one that when we get into the final mix, we will add the multiband compressor to the master channel. Multiband compressor, and then we'll pick the broadcast preset, and then that basically will just kind of make your whole final mix louder.
Oklahoma State Bureau of Shameful Behavior. How can I help you? Someone already reported that the husband of Lahoma's mayor dressed up as a Klansman for...
So what I want you guys to do now is take about like the first 30 seconds of this piece and build out a really complicated, interesting world where it sounds like a very busy office, and then give me an output mix of that, of approximately 30 seconds. All right, good luck. So what you can do to make your life easier is to cut out a bunch of, like the back half of all the dialogue so that it'll just render that section of audio, and then you will go to File, Export, Multitrack Mix Down, Entire Session, tell it where to go, and name it. I'm putting it inside that file again. Press OK, and it will export it quite quickly. And put your ears on it, listen to it before you turn it in, and good luck.